Welcome to part 3 of session 0 of our Fate Core campaign, The Path of the Lost, where our 4 heroes, Yobanjo, a telekinetic wandering do-gooder, Adam, a professional criminal with heightened senses, Morgana, a woman with a curious otherworldly upbringing, and Garrett, the luckiest man alive, strive to unravel the mysteries of their past through their common link to a mysterious organisation known as WX. This will be an ongoing story with the same players appearing on this podcast alongside the random one-shot games with an ever-changing cast, so please do check out the other stories, and if you're enjoying this one, don't worry, it will return. If you are enjoying it and you haven't already, please do subscribe to the show, give it a heart, a like, a thumb, a review, some stars, whatever it is that you can do from your current place of listening. As a quick recap, we last left our heroes having come together for the first time and discussed their connection to the weirdness of the near-future city of San Magdalene. They've decided to break into an old facility run by the WX Corporation that was known to Garrett, who used to volunteer for medical testing there. Having found the building, Adam picked the lock on the front door, Morgana threw a brick through a window, and Yobanjo used his psychic powers to open a fire escape in the rear, whilst Garrett sarcastically observed what good teamwork they had achieved. But hopefully they will come together when they need to.
This facility.
Well, in that case, I'm going to go
broken
back
into.
to. I kind of think we should all be together, so I'm going to go back to where these guys are, on the front.
Sure. So you come back on front, you pass where as Neve has jumped back, Morgana has jumped back as this glass pane sort of falls out of the window and is smashed on the ground.
Should I? I mean,
I've not
can I
done
still
that,
see
yeah.
them?
You'd have
Or-
heard that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, have you gotten through the second door yet, or are you still on the first door?
No, we just
Is there a
have to
second
padlock.
door?
Yeah.
Well, the padlock's
Why
on
don't we
a-
just
on
go
a
in
door.
via
Yeah.
the fire escape, guys?
Okay, cool. All right.
So is the main entrance completely?
You've got the
unlocked?
padlock off and the chain off, and then you've got the front door in front of you, which is also
Yeah.
to be locked.
We might as well just go around the
Yeah.
fire escape. Okay, let's go. Should we do that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go.
You opened the fire escape.
Well, it was left open.
It's almost as lucky as you. So what can you remember from this facility? And how long ago was it?
That's a good question. Shall I
It was
roll
probably
for it?
10 plus years ago. It was a long
Shall
time.
I roll
when you-
to see if I
No, you remember that you came here and they did various tests on you. The first time they just kind of gave you lots of logic puzzles and things to do.
Do I remember anything about the layout of it?
Roughly, you went in through the front into the reception, and then you were always taken to a different area.
Right.
Um,
So did I see inside any of the offices?
yeah, you'd have seen some of the. You might have gone to a couple of the doctor's rooms. You'd have taken into the back into a more lab-like area
Okay.
where there was sort of where you were taken into a room which had a big mirror on one side, which you just presumed was a two-way mirror, and they sat you on a bench and they
I
scanned
remember
you. and
that
things.
the lab is round the back. Okay, maybe one of the interesting areas to check out.
So you guys enter through the fire escape into a corridor. It's again very dusty and dirty and filthy, and plants have cracked up through the tiles in the floor. It's been abandoned for
What? 10 years?
Probably a good 20 years actually. 'Cause
20
you're old, aren't you? It's probably been abandoned for maybe a good 20 years.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
filthy.
it was presumably soon abandoned after I was.
Yeah, in the
Attendant.
went back several times, and then one time you went back and it was just locked up, and you're like, oh, well, I guess they don't do this
Okay.
anymore.
But
You
that
maybe
only
remember-
happened in a number of months, so, rather than.
Yeah. You went back there several times.
It's
over
not
the-
that
over
it's
the
been
course
in
of a while.
operation for,
It's
I don't know, 10 years after I was.
roughly 20
No.
years since I had my accident as well.
Adam, can you sense
You
anything
were, but-
in this place?
As
Can you-
in
any
people,
life
like,
forms or anything
Cats.
untoward?
Spiders.
You've been working for Adam for a while, but you're not aware of his powers.
Okay, that's good to know. Just know he's a bit weird.
yeah,
He's probably the most normal of you all.
can I give a little sense out to see if I can either see or hear anything?
Sure. Make a notice.
4.
You stop and just listen, and you can't really hear any movement or feel any sort of vibration. The building just seems long abandoned. It's so dirty and filthy in here that it would be somewhat obvious if somebody had been, even if you know, like footprints or whatever, be walking through here. You can sort of sense the building seems to be completely empty, as far as you can tell.
Pretty sure it's empty.
That's a relief.
Do you want to check out the lab?
Yeah. I'm looking for any canisters.
Yeah, keep your eyes open for anything, any papers, anything that might have details.
Well, I don't imagine that they'll have left a lot.
Depends on the reason why it was vacated in the first place.
You guys make your way down the corridor. There's a number of rooms on both sides. All seem to be doctors' offices or examination rooms of some sort, fairly innocuous.
all
You guys
the
have
same?
been to doctors before.
Yeah.
As far as you can tell, yeah, there's slight variations, but they seem to be basically the same.
So we're checking them as we're going along.
I'm also
Yeah.
looking out if there's anything of those 3 names as well.
Okay, yeah,
On the doors.
doors. Ah.
Yeah. Dr. Alistair Crossley, wasn't it? Mary
Okay.
Phillips and Ezekiel.
Ezekiel Cray.
Yeah, you don't notice any of those 3 names, not in this area.
Do we notice any? I mean, is there any information, like names?
There are names on the doors. Yeah, there's just sort of Doctor so and so, and so. Maybe there's probably 6 rooms which have got a placard on them. Some of them have a couple of them are missing,
Are any
and
of
they're
them?
too faded, too hard to read, or.
Do any of them spoke memories of me?
Yeah, I'd say you might recognise the name of someone you were introduced to at one point. A female doctor. His name was Sophie. You can remember she was quite nice. That seems to be her office there. You've probably been in there as well. They were quite nice. They were perfectly
Yeah,
pleasant to you
yeah.
when you were here. You didn't.
Nothing
You thought
really.
it was a bit weird the things they were asking you to do, but other than that, it seemed.
When you did the testing, was it like a voluntary?
Yeah.
Trial.
Pretty much.
What
Some
did-
money in it as well.
What were you tested for?
herpes, lots of herpes.
Well, they were never entirely specific about that. I did a variety of things, logic puzzles, and
So it was the intelligence test.
intelligence.
Yeah, a lot of the early tests seemed similar to intelligence tests, but then they started doing blood tests and scans and things.
Oh, okay.
Did they give you anything either?
Well, some money.
Other than money?
Not as far as I'm aware.
Where's the reception?
Well, you guys reach the end of this
Good
corridor
shout.
that leads out into this
I think
waiting
we're at the
area.
back.
So there's lots of long rotted sort of plastic seating in rows, and on one side is a little glass window, which you can see a little area behind where someone would have sat and probably called out names. You guys have been to doctors before.
I mean, have they
What is
got
this
any
foreign concept you
ledgers?
talk of?
Sorry?
Have they got any ledgers or any paperwork? That's
Possibly in the office, assuming it hasn't rotted away. On the right-hand side, from where you've come, leads back towards the main entrance where you were picking the lock.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see down this little corridor that leads into a reception area, which is a big sort of circular desk, and just another little bit of a seating area, but mostly just people to come in, get told where to go, and so on and so forth. This is the waiting area you're in now. Immediately ahead, there's some more corridors to some other rooms, and to the right. Did I say left before? Or did I say right? I know I pointed left. I think I might have said right. To the
You can't see that.
I can't. To the right, there is another short corridor, but it's a double sort of door wide, and there's a double door there which has had a number of benches and like a drinks machine and just things just sort of shoved in front of it. Seems like that corridor's just sort of been purposefully
Ooh,
Blocked
intrigue.
by bits and pieces.
Mm.
And
Either that or
you know
Or
Garrett.
cleaning.
You know Garrett that is where the corridor, the doorway that
Yeah.
led to the lab.
Are there any drinks left in the machine?
Get a bit thirsty back.
Yeah, there might be some cans left in there. You smash it open.
They
maybe.
might be past their
It's not
expiry.
plugged in.
Yeah.
It's not plugged in anymore.
covered in rust.
Yeah.
Ew.
20-year-old can of Coke.
Is it worth just looking at behind the reception desk and everything for any
See if
sort
there's
of
any
paperwork
papers,
first,
yeah.
and then we can look down there?
Definitely.
So can we go behind the reception and just look through folders for anything? I don't really know what I'm looking for, to be honest.
I'm
I'm
just
probably
looking for
just
anything.
looking for
Shall we
James's
do
name.
a-
That's
Looking
it.
for the love of looking.
Yeah.
Shall we do a notice board for that? Or is it-
No, you
Investigation.
can so you can make your way behind where this little glass window area is, and it is indeed a office with a number of filing cabinets and things like that. And open up, there seem to be, some of it hasn't stood well to the test of time, but it seems to be information on people. So there's just files with people's names on and various things.
I'm looking for mine.
Can I take a?
Okay.
Can I take some of the files with names on them?
Yeah.
Perhaps we can speak to.
They're
some
in
of them.
alphabetical order, so Garrett, you go, oh, and if I'm in here, and so you flick through to that relevant drawer and you find your file there. It's got your personal details in it, measurements.
Hey,
just fairly
look at
basics.
this handsome fella in front of
Yeah, you see a picture of Garrett 20 years ago. Pick there.
Jesus,
It's just
you
got
haven't had
your
a good 20 years,
address
have you?
and things.
It
It's
might
got
be
basic
worth
information.
Looking at things like stationery accounts, because they've probably stayed with the same company now that they used before. So it might be if they've got any old
what?
bills
Did
or
their
anything.
letterhead?
Yeah.
Well, just pens receipts and things like that, because they probably, them if we can. I don't know.
Get
Maybe
to them.
John can look it up
Yeah.
and find
Yeah.
out where they're based now. If they're still delivered to the different address, but they've got the same account. I don't know. Let's have a look. I don't know if there's anything like that here. If it would be kept
I
there.
think that's going to require someone to make an investigation roll to find something that specific.
He's good at invest.
I'm pretty good at it.
Have a look.
I'm just bad at
No,
wrong. What are you on?
I'm only a
You're going to
That's
need
quite
a
good.
good
So
result at least.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4, nice. You can find some, probably not receipts and stuff because that would be more in an accounting area, but you can find some packaging that's like some boxes of pens or something has arrived, and you can find the box that they came in and a little invoice kind of
Okay.
that's been sort of left over, or a scrap of one.
Take that with you.
Will do.
So why are they barricading the way to the lab?
You'll have a better idea than any of us about that.
Shall we have a look?
We'll have to
Is
move
Okay.
Any way we can?
this furniture first.
Yeah. I mean,
How well?
is it heavy?
Yeah.
How much stuff is in front of it? In front of the door?
It's like a vending machine.
Yeah, there's a vending machine and one of the benches seems to have been removed from the.
Can I see if I can move it with my?
I mean, we're gonna notice
your
that.
will.
We're gonna see.
Yeah, you figure you think
This-
you
this
think you could
guys, this
fairly
is-
easily move.
yeah.
Can I see if I can see right through it? Through the other side of the door?
Yeah. So you stop and concentrate, and you just stare into it, and you can see on the other side a long corridor with a number of rooms down the sides that each have large window panes looking into them.
Anybody feeling strong?
So your banjo raises his hands. This is not too much effort really
Okay.
for you, and you just wheel towards you, and you guys watch as the vending machine, being the heaviest thing that's there, just sort of slides forward, swings out of.
This
out of
is the
place.
first time,
Right.
isn't it, that we've...
Yeah, you've been vaguely aware that does something
Yeah.
strange.
What
but
the
this is
hell is that?
Lee, you're completely Garrett. You're actually basically oblivious to any powers, including your own.
Well, that's new.
Well, I guess it's... Don't worry about it, guys. There's
No,
more where
no,
that came
no, I'm
from.
worried about it.
What?
Explain.
I was thirsty.
a can,
Yeah.
you're back inside, and a can
Yes, can.
falls out of into the little drawer below.
Magnetise that to my hand and open it.
Oh, don't drink
Start
that.
They go
Oh!
yeah, immediately.
Bad idea.
You thought you looked
I
looked
thought I looked
cool,
cool.
but then you forgot that it was 20-year-old flat, whatever it is.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, we'll come back to that later.
Yeah.
What about the bench? Can you do that?
Bench, you guys, he could do it, but you guys
Right.
probably lift
Well,
it
you
out of the
can-
way. Everything else is a bit smaller, and you take it one piece at a time. You could.
Okay.
So I think on the other side...
That doesn't work so well for audio. For anyone wondering, Lee is just making notions at Yobanjo, going like, "What the fuck is it?"
On the other side, there's more rooms. With this being barricaded, they could be cells. I'm guessing.
How do you know that?
You can just tell.
Are you psychic or what?
No.
He's
But,
guessing.
Well, I'm
So
not going to go with
just-
guesswork. Should we just go in and have a
But
look?
also at the same
Well,
time.
nobody's explaining how the vending machine.
We put a pin in that, and we're going to come back to it later.
But at the same time, I don't think there's anyone here. But it's interesting that this, obviously someone, when this facility was left, was keeping something in.
And
There's a
presumably
reason.
they had to leave quickly, otherwise they'd have done it
Which explains why all the files are here.
in a more
Oh.
formal way.
Well, look, I don't really know a lot about this WX.
Nobody
What
does.
exactly? Yeah, but you know more than me. Is there something that could be harmful to us if we go in there? Then is that why it's barricaded? Like, should we wear a gas mask or something?
Do you have any gas masks?
No, but I don't want to walk in undefended.
I mean, you don't think this barricade would have?
It wouldn't have
Might have, I
stopped gas, would
suppose,
it?
but probably not. The door's like not vacuum sealed.
Okay.
I think it more likely that they were trying to hide the evidence, or whatever it was they were up to.
Well, I think let's just go in. We can't figure out what's here on the other side of this door.
No.
So we can
Shall
now
we?
open it.
Yeah.
Shall we open the door and put the vending machine, and if you could just slowly
Yeah, yeah,
move
yeah.
it and throw you behind
As a
it.
shield.
Yeah.
It's a shield, yeah.
Yeah, you guys do a combination of telekinesis and just carrying these smaller pieces. You can clear the door and push open. You can see a corridor that leads down. There's 2 rooms on either side, each with a door and a glass window, a large glass window looking into them. And at the far end of the corridor is another double door that seems to be slightly open.
So I recognise this, but
You've been in here, yeah. These are the more in-depth laboratory examination rooms that you've been in some of your later visits after they got more interested in you.
So can we try the doors? Are the doors locked?
They seem to be open.
Which ones?
The doors
the
on there. If you
examination.
pick or any given of these 4 doors, you can.
Are there windows
Swing
looking
on
in as
The
well?
windows look in, yeah. You can see inside. They're a bit more extensive of a lab set up than the doctor's offices were. So a large sort of gurney in the middle that articulates with lots of monitoring equipment and things like that.
Should go in one by one. As in, not one by one person. but
Check each
room,
room
yeah.
individually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we search them?
Yeah, I'm looking out for anything that looks like ooze.
Anything that looks
Chemical?
like what?
The ooze.
Oh, ooze. Okay.
So there's 4 rooms in total. The first 2 seem to be fairly standard stuff. Lots of medical equipment. You could grab some it's weird that these things have just been left. Like there's monitoring equipment.
Is it
in there
used? Yeah,
tools
it's
and
like the
things.
electrical equipment. I mean,
Yeah.
the syringes, have they been used?
Not used, no, but there's just stuff that is there. Once you open some of the covers, things there are syringes and things
And
vacuum
also
packed in there.
vials of like blood samples. Potentially anything with his name on as well.
No, they've probably been taken
Okay.
somewhere. They're probably done here and then immediately taken somewhere else.
Are there like notes, like doctor's notes left that we can read, or is that?
Not
Just-
really. Again, they would have been filed out the front somewhere in one of the other offices. Or
So
taken
they've
from the
taken
facility.
presumably the important.
Yeah, there might be a
stuff
few
with them.
scraps of paper here and there and the odd file, but nothing like
Any computers
earth-shattering.
or monitors with videotapes or anything of that
And
facility?
they're running Windows next one.
There are here. They should be. There are some computers and things in here, and I'm presuming you guys have got phones or whatever up as flashlights because there's
Yeah.
no light in here. There's no electricity, and it's dark outside. So there are some very old computers, 20 years ago, and some, all the monitoring is all quite old, but there's no power. You can't access any of it. It's like big, chunky old computer screens,
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah, possibly won't work.
Are there any like videotapes or tape with sound recordings on them or anything like that?
Not in these first 2 rooms, no.
I mean, they'd be
I'm
in a
looking out for
separate
that.
section
That's what I'm
if
gonna
they
look
had
out
a
for.
security.
Sure. So you move on to the second 2 rooms. The one on the left is very similar to the previous ones, but the one on the right seems to have been mispurposed into some sort of storage facility. So there's filing cabinets and things and boxes of things in there that weren't in the other rooms.
I'm gonna open these
Yeah.
boxes.
So you start going in there.
Yeah.
Through the filing cabinet.
Again, a lot of it's bric-a-brac. You can find some rough accounting information maybe and some sort of personnel files and patients files, but you do eventually find, somewhere towards the back, a filing cabinet that is a bit different to the others. It's got 2 drawers in it. It's only a short one. The bottom drawer doesn't have anything in it, it's just empty, and the top drawer just has a selection of deep red files, like thicker files. There's a different colour, they're different design, they seem a bit nicer, they've got slightly better labelling on them, they're just a bit nicer than all the patient files and stuff.
So they stand out.
Yeah, and you can see them going from front to back. They are labelled in alphabetical order as the following. So the one at the front's called The Anomaly. The next one says The Believers. I'll say it slowly so you write it down. So it's The Anomaly, The Believers,
Mm-hmm.
The Boy,
Boy.
The Cure, The Devil,
Do the Beatles know anything?
The Home,
The home.
The Island,
Mm-hmm.
The Lonely, The Missing, The Mistake, The Monkey,
Hey.
There you go.
The Pieces,
The what? Pieces?
pieces, as in pieces of something, and the last one says The Truth. That's the names labelled on top of these files.
Do they have things inside them?
It looks like they've got papers.
What was the
They're
second
relatively thick files.
The Believers.
So we could actually open the file and see what it contains.
Yeah, you can just see what each one is.
I'm gonna look like I'm just casually pulling out one, but pull out the island. See what that says.
Pick one entirely. What's this one?
And it's basically
It's
the
full of
script.
pictures of me. What's it?
It's the script of the Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson film.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by the monkey.
DVDs.
Yeah. So I guess you're all gonna pick. one.
Yeah. So you guys open it.
How
you
thick?
roll-
How these are pretty thick,
They're
right?
fairly thick, not like that, but yeah, they've got a substantial amount of
I'm
paperwork.
going to take
in
all
them.
these.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so
Let's have a look at the devil quickly.
I'll say Morgana found it. So she slides open this drawer, and you can see that she's found these deep red, quite well kept because this cabinet was quite well sealed. And you can sort of glance over, you can see her flicking through, and she pulls out one of these big thick files. You open it up, and it does seem to be speaking of. It's got lots of sort of cartography maps and photocopies of written texts and some old legends and things like that speak of demons and magic and an island somewhere where lots of and there's lots of stories about sirens and mermaids and things, all these sort of myths and legends, and it's the information on the island itself seems kind of vague, but it's more about trying to find it. And you recognise some of the island names of like the natives as islands that you were aware were near where you grew up.
Okay.
What's
I'm
this
gonna
thing
hold
about?
on to this.
About a monkey.
Yeah. You guys wander over as Morgana's reading through. She looks little bit concerned.
What are these?
And yeah, you can see the rest of the
I'm
file.
not sure. They're all bizarre names. The Anomaly, the Believers. I don't know. They seem to be about fairy tale stories.
Yeah, I mean, what's this mean? The monkey, the missing.
Are you going to get the monkey out?
Yeah!
So you take the monkey file out and flick through it, and it's got a bunch of, again, some sort of photocopies of stories and myths and like written expeditions things. It's got like photocopies of a written diary of an old ancient of an explorer of some sort who's sort of is looking through jungle locations and stories of him going to pyramids and things. And it's also got lots of photographs in it. It's got some sketches of this little golden kind of monkey idol statue,
Oh, right.
but it's also got some pictures of this statue, like relatively recent, well, not recent, 20 years ago, but yeah, but it's got some photographs of this
So it was
statue
a
as well.
statue of a monkey.
Seems to be
Okay,
with a
well,
big
what
wide
does
grin on its
something
face.
like the pieces? What does that contain?
So you've set the monkey aside and open up the pieces. You can see it's talking about, it's a lot of anatomy notes kind of in here, like some old, some almost like a kind of, I want to say Frankenstein's diary, but you know what I mean. It's like an old mad scientist diary talking about how the body works, and you can see there's various diagrams of this skeleton, in all sort of split into separate pieces, and there's
This
stories
is
of it.
random stuff.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with him, but in my head I'm like, that looks kind of familiar.
Are there any in any of these files any names attached to like the notes or reports?
Which
or
file do you want to look in? Looked in the island. Chris has looked in the monkey and the pieces.
I want to look at the boy and the mistake.
Okay, which one first?
The boy.
So you take out the boy. You open it up. The first thing on the front is a picture, a photograph, an old photograph of a young boy. Yubanjo, you immediately recognise this is you.
Ah,
And you saw you realise that he vaguely. You kind of look at it and look at Banjo and go, kind of looks like you. This does, without a beard or whatever it is that you have now that you're a man. It's a picture that you
Jesus
can clearly
Christ.
see was taken at that jungle facility that you were at.
this makes sense. I remember that photo being taken. What else does it say about me?
Reading further.
It's got lots of notes on this boy called Yobanjo and his telekinetic abilities and his connection to his mother, who it refers to as refers to her as a demon and a member of the council. We don't know what that means, and it talks of things that it goes into a bit more detail. If you spend some time to read it, you can tell it's details about how those two people stayed at this facility in a jungle location and how they
Does it actually have the
detect
location
things.
of the jungle as well?
Not in specifically, no.
What's the one called The Home about?
I think this is yours.
Thanks. There's
There's some pictures of
been
your mother
trying to
in there
forget
as well.
this for a long time, but
I'm actually quite scared of him now. After.
So you're going to set what was the second one you picked up? You picked up
Home.
monkey.
Home.
You picked up monkey pieces. So Garrett's just taking files out, flicking through them, putting them aside. Pieces. That's weird. The home reads like a ghost story.
Ooh.
It's very strange. It's all personal. It's all written accounts, sort of personal statements. Some sketches of this house, this sort of townhouse. No pictures, but it tells the story of this house, this weird house that people say exists, but it can never be found. It's kind of spooky. They say that if people can find the house and you can go inside, you'll never be seen again.
These files are madness.
So we've
there's
looked
truth
at-
in this madness,
We've
though.
looked at the home, we've looked at the island.
Can I have a look at the devil? And I want to kind of look at this one slightly, so the others can't really see.
Yeah, you guys are all getting a bit distracted now, so you can look at these things without the others noticing at this point. Jay, you take out the mistake, open it up. And at the front of it is a photograph of a young boy in a hospital bed attached to some monitoring equipment and some breathing apparatus. And it's very clearly you when you were 14.
Oh.
You wanted to grab the devil?
Yeah, there's.
The devil. The front picture inside the devil is a photograph of a red muscle car, sort of a grainy photograph taken from a distance. And there's a few more photographs of it, and a story of sort of police reports and things like that, eyewitness reports of this car being seen at various murder scenes, but with no known connection.
That's the devil.
Well, I'm presumably the anomaly. I'll have a look at that.
you open the anomaly and it has a picture of you 20 years ago, same as your file out the front, and it talks all about yeah. So it talks all about your the tests they've done on you. It starts fairly innocuous, but then it moves on to we must test this man's capabilities more, and it talks about how unusual you are and how they can't figure out your connection, if it's metaphysical or if it's...
Well, in fairness, they did used to call me and refer to me as the anomaly back then, so... okay.
It wasn't even a lucky guess. It
It
wasn't even a guess.
It was pretty much what
Your
this
name.
facility knew.
But it talks about how you, relatively unbeknownst to you, Garrett, they refer to you as this powered individual, but they don't fully understand. And even up until the end of the file, they just seem to have no idea what you are.
But what concerns me is that even if some of these files relate to us, obviously not all of them do. So what are they relating to?
Other people.
Other people, yeah.
What other people?
Or other things.
Has anyone heard of the Smile?
Nope.
No.
It's a name I hear often in the underground world, and I'm wondering why he's called the Smile. And it seems like you could probably plonk a folder in here called the Smile as well.
It's not here.
Who is the Smile? What was?
He's just an underground kind of crime boss, quite high up. I don't really know that much more, but I have done jobs for him.
What
I mean, if we
other-
looked at all the available folders,
No, we haven't
should
looked at
we?
the Believers, have we?
And the truth, have we looked at that one?
Okay,
Or
I'm
the
gonna
missing.
keep the island under my elbow and then just go and have a look at the Believers. as
Yeah,
well.
I think it's possible, particularly with that one, that we don't even know it
Yeah,
necessarily looks like.
exactly. You're very concerned about yourselves at the moment,
But
so
I think it's fair to say that if, with maybe the exception of Morgana, but I'm maybe thinking that she's part of this as well, if we all seem to have these odd abilities, then I'm guessing there's more of us out there as well.
what does,
Morgana doesn't have any abilities that you're aware of.
And she's not. She doesn't seem. There's no photos of her in this.
what does the Believers
Well, you're not in any of the
say?
files you've looked at.
Yeah, well, let's look at the files. that we
The Believers speaks of a cult that seems to be growing up in San Magdalene. They talk about it in various increments. So it kind of it appears and then it disappears and it appears and disappears. So it kind of like it grows and then it just sort of shrinks away or whatever. They don't seem to know a huge amount about it, but they've caught a lot of buzz and a lot of people and talking about it. And it's essentially the file is just them attempting to connect what they've heard to some form of myth or legend or story somewhere, and not necessarily having a lot of luck. So it seems kind of vague, that one.
And what
Right.
about the missing?
The missing refers to a regular occurrence.
Oh, okay.
They've spotted it's police reports, and it's similar to the Devil one, that 5 people all seem to go missing at the exact same time every 10 or so years.
Interesting.
Is there dates in there?
Yeah.
Are we far off a
Probably
particular date?
there's not a specific date of the year,
Does it
but
recur
it's
with
probably going to
regularity?
happen this year
Yeah.
Okay.
if it hasn't already happened.
Does it have any details about what kind of people they are? Are they
They don't seem to
men,
have
women,
any connection to
ages?
each other at all. Different ages, different sexes, different races, different walks of life.
And the truth is not the last one.
Yeah, it's almost the missing is almost unnoticeable. It's just that these people did disappear on the same day, probably at roughly the same
Yeah,
time.
and someone's taken
They just
notice.
and very always under mysterious circumstances, like someone went out to get something, or somebody was at their office and then just never made it home. It just
Aliens. Yeah. Have we looked at the Lonely? Oh, the
And
tree.
the truth as well.
I missed that one.
The Lonely is the thinnest file of them all. It seems to be referring to some sort of creature that lives underground on the railway system. There's eyewitness reports and things, but again, it's quite vague. There's some planning obviously been made to try and track this creature, but to no avail, or at least there's nothing referenced in here that they were successful in any way.
Okay, and the truth is...
As you pull out the truth, you spot that immediately behind it, at the back of the filing cabinet, is another folder. This one a deeper shade of red. It doesn't have a label on it. It's slightly smaller, that's why you didn't spot it before. And it has, almost burnt into the front of it, it says The Danger.
So that's contained within the truth?
No, that was behind. That was
behind
behind
it.
the truth. It was another file that was
So,
behind.
Okay.
so can we see what the truth is?
Yeah, you can open up the truth. It seems to refer to a book that was found during a expedition, during a sort of an archaeological dig.
Okay.
A book that never seems to rot, or doesn't seem to be able to be torn apart or destroyed. And
But
then
it doesn't say where this book is?
doesn't say where it is, but it does say that whoever reads the book immediately kills themselves.
Oh.
Well, hopefully that
That's
doesn't
really
apply to
good.
reading the podcast.
I don't know about touching the,
The
danger.
danger, yeah,
It's
same
a
here.
bit.
Yeah.
We should like prod it with a coat hanger or something. See what happens.
It's a bomb.
I'll open it.
All right, I'll step
Just a
back.
This is a thin file, it hasn't got much in it, if anything. And you open it, pull it out of the filing cabinet and open it, and it's empty.
Oh, so it's been taken? The contents have been taken, or
There's no danger.
There's nothing in there. There's no danger. Everything's fine.
or it's invisible.
Yeah, it's just one of those
Jay, you find
microscopic diseases that's been released by
Oh,
opening
no.
parts.
you find yourself becoming slightly distracted. You're not sure why. Something is sort of niggling at you.
I think we should take these home.
I think we should take these.
Let's all take
All of them?
4 each so that we can carry them. I'll have these that I've got here.
Just want to spend a moment just to kind of put my feelers out even further.
Something is bugging you, and you stop to concentrate, and you can smell something. Not sure what it is.
Burning.
Could be.
I smell burning. Okay.
Yeah,
you guys can't smell
stroke.
anything.
Should we go?
Can I try and detect where it's coming from, or to try and find the direction?
I don't know if
It's not the
you're...
danger
You look
folder, is it?
distracted, Jade. Do you want some help?
I can't
kind
smell
of
it.
focusing yourself.
Actually, yeah, I will.
Okay.
Can you? I want to. Yeah, so I can smell burning. I want to kind of put out my.
Put your
senses.
feelers out. Put them all
Yeah.
out. Concentrate. Think on that smell. Focusing on it.
Okay. I'm gonna
You
do
are
that.
my
Try to
sensitive
eradicate
person.
everything else that you can feel
I'd say make
slowly, one by
a
one.
notice roll with an extra +2 to try and locate a smell.
6.
Sure, yeah. So the smells are kind of emanate, so you can tell it's coming obviously from the corridor and into this room and from further down the corridor. But more as you concentrate, you can more hear a light crackle and some movement somewhere near towards the reception area.
There's something here in the reception area.
Okay, I'm gonna hold my.
Do you think
Okay,
it's a
let's all
cat?
take some. Let's take these files. Let's just grab
Yeah.
them. I'm
Let's
gonna
get
take
out of here.
these
Is there
4.
any windows in this?
Do we have
Not
to
to
go
the
through
outside,
the
no.
reception area to get out? We don't.
If
So
you,
we came through the reception area, didn't we?
you came through the waiting area and you could see the reception area on your
Yeah.
left, so you didn't come through the reception area directly. Also, in the corridor outside the room you're in, there's double door exits at both ends. You don't know where the one on the right hand side goes because
yeah.
you came in from the other side.
Smell and crackling. Is it like burning electricity, like an
You'd say it's
electric
probably
crackling and a
fire.
burning?
No, you'd
Okay.
say it's probably fire.
Well, the danger is burnt into the.
Yeah. So I think we've got no choice but to go down these other double doors.
No one has any water. Okay, let's go. Is
Not
there another
probably-
fire escape that we can see?
Can I
Not
do
in
an
this area.
X-ray look when I go out of this room? I look through the corridor where we've just come from, where I think the fire is, just to see if I can see.
Yeah, so
anything.
you exit this makeshift storage room and you look down towards the double doors we came in that have swung themselves closed because they were closers. And you can see through and down past the seating area into the reception where you can see there's appear to be some light starting to emit from around the front door where this crackle of flame has begun, and you can see a person stood there in a big thick sort of shape in a big long coat, dishevelled and just kind of scruffy. It's hard to tell who or what they are, but they're a person's shape.
There's
So,
some kind of weird thing.
Are they kind of like stood in the fire?
Banjo's twin brother,
Or-
a weird homeless man. They're stood in front of the fire looking at it, you think, but you can't be sure.
They're not looking at us.
Don't think so.
But they've
You
just
can't
set
really
this
tell.
fire.
Maybe.
Call George as well.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's on the other side of the door, though,
Yeah.
isn't he?
He was outside
Oh,
of
you
the
mean
street. He's
outside.
outside the front door,
Yeah.
across
Call
the
him-
car
call him
park,
on the
outside the
phone. Yeah.
fence on the street. So the
Yeah.
phone rings for a second, then it gets picked up, and you can hear very loud show tunes playing. Before it goes, oh shit! What's up, boss? How's it going?
Did you not? Has anyone followed us in? Have you seen anybody? Because someone's come in.
No one's
Okay,
come
right.
past.
Just get
me.
ready
It doesn't-
to get going because we need to leave this place.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so shall
That's
we?
it. Yeah.
Shall we go in the opposite direction, find a
Yes.
fire escape,
I don't know.
or
Unless
do you want
anyone's
to face this
really.
man?
Wait,
This
you're
is
saying you didn't
quite
see him
worrying.
come in?
Yeah, from the sounds of things, I don't think George is too busy singing along to Showgirls or something, so he wasn't any help. But there's a guy out there. I'm not sure whether he's started this fire or what. But do we leave? Do we go out?
Yeah,
these
I don't
doors?
think we're wanted here
I think we should
any
leave.
longer.
Down the other side of the corridor, is there any sort of signs of fire escape or anything? Opposite.
It's just another double door at both
Right.
ends now.
Okay.
You're completely contained. There's no windows leading outside from where you are at all. In this corridor or in any of the rooms.
And at one end we've got
One end
the
you've got
dude
the
with
double door that
fire.
you came in, and on the other end is another double door you haven't been through yet.
Can we just quickly look through the other double door opposite?
Yeah,
Not
who
in
wants
the
to look through?
Is there?
That
is
sounds
there-
ominous,
I'm
doesn't
still.
it?
I'm
Who wants to
still-
put their head through the door?
I'm still watching through the doors at a guy.
Can I open the doors so that we can all see through?
I'll look through
With
the
your
double
powers?
doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just sort of hold your hand
Yeah.
and the double doors swing open.
Yeah.
You immediately see in front of you a circular room with a door on either side, and you can see monitoring equipment, lots of computer screens and setups and everything, and a number of windows immediately in front of them that look out into these other rooms. So there's other examination type
Right, so
rooms
there's
that
no
seem to
way
be
we
So-
can
complex.
so
escape
this
this
is-
way, basically.
So this is the room where I was under observation. I knew it was.
You don't know anything about this monitoring
Oh, okay.
area. You've never seen this before, but the other rooms
But
on the other
I've
side
seen
look
the other
familiar.
ones.
I think we should
Okay.
go and talk to the man.
Is there? Can we see if there's
Talk to the
windows
man.
in the other
Yeah.
rooms? In the
You want to go
monitoring
and
rooms?
talk to the man?
There's no escape
Where
this
Is
way.
there a way out of the?
He's trying
okay.
to set fire to the building.
Yeah, so you can see inside this circular room with another 4 rooms that seems to be looking out into.
Yeah.
And all this equipment, and you can see immediately ahead as you sort of look about with a phone flashlight, it catches a glint of something, and you can see immediately ahead of you, sort of placed on the desk in front of some of the monitors, is this little golden statue of a monkey,
Okay.
just facing towards the doors where you guys are.
Is that within one of the glass?
No, it's in
No.
this
Actually, in the
circular
circular
room.
thing, like the lucky cat things.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't really see inside the other rooms. You can see they're sort of vaguely that they are more examination rooms, but the light from your thing
What did the
shines
golden
off
monkey
of them.
file say? Who's got the golden monkey file? Thanks. Can I have a quick click through to see?
I
if
think
there's-
this is-
They left their monkey behind.
Yeah, I think this
What
is
it
trying to
refers
keep
to.
the monkey from getting out. I think.
A lot of it's in a foreign language. A lot of it's notes that talk about a curious statue that always seems to show up at disaster zones.
Oh, great!
When
That's
five-
encouraging.
When 5 people go missing.
But
Oh, what
the
do
statue
you-
itself
what do you
doesn't seem to
find?
have.
Yeah.
There's a lot of details on testing on the statues, X-rays, and things like that, and it doesn't seem to have anything about it. It just seems to be completely innocuous. Doesn't have any life force or power or magic in quotation marks.
Have they
to
left it here?
It just seems. Whatever.
But it looks valuable, right?
It looks like it's made of gold.
You want to confront the man?
I just wanna. That's our only way to get out of here. We need to go past him in order to leave.
What's he
There's two doors in this circular room leading on the sides, presumably into these examination rooms. You
Yeah.
can't
Yeah,
quite
but
see
there's not
into.
going to be
But
fire.
are there any
is,
ways
but-
out from the examination rooms from what I
Not that you
can
can see from
remember?
here.
Not that.
Is the smell getting worse? Does it seem as though the fire's getting bigger?
It's getting way worse for Jay. In fact, you guys can probably start to smell it maybe a little bit.
I reckon
You
we've
can
still
smell it
got
a lot.
time.
But
Can
then
I-
you have superpowers.
Is he still standing there?
He seems to
just-
still be standing there just in front of the doors, just looking as this fire grows.
Okay.
across
Is
the
there an
front of the
ominous
building.
presence about him?
So
Is he just a
You can't see it.
pyromaniac?
would we have to? So is it in essence
No,
the
it
fire
just
blocking out
dropped in
our
to
escape? So if we
set
went
It's,
fire.
back
not,
through,
it's blocking your escape from the front door, but you could
Yeah.
go back into the seating
Yeah,
area
let's do
and then turn back into the corridor that led to the
back to the fire escape.
fire escape without going through the reception.
Yeah.
Although you would be able to be exposed to the reception. So if you
Yeah.
go into the seating area, it's just an open space
Okay.
that then leads into the reception.
So okay,
I think-
I'm gonna.
we can go back.
Odds of going back that way without being spotted by this guy
Yeah,
is
it's
probably
pretty
not
remote.
high.
So
You
we
have to be
can't,
very
uh,
sneaky. Unless you're very
Else with
sneaky.
him?
No,
also
so-
deciding I'm
Is-
gonna get the monkey.
You're going to go in and
I
pick
mean,
it up.
No, I'm
those
not
with
gonna go and pick
stealth.
it up. I'm gonna
Has everyone got stealth?
bring it to myself.
Telekinesis. So you
Yeah.
I
levitate
have,
the monkey over
but
towards
still,
you.
it's-
Yeah.
So the
So-
monkey is now sort of hovering in front of you.
That's our
Turn it
option.
around
Is
and
we
pick it
either
up.
go through
Anything?
to see if we can get out here, and the fire potentially gets worse, or we go out where we came, but there is some guy there.
I
watching
can
the
handle.
fire.
Maybe I can handle him. I don't know.
I don't know. Well,
You
didn't do
can
anything.
handle it.
But you don't know that.
She leapt over that fence pretty nimble.
I
She might have some ninja skills.
don't know.
He could be our only chance of finding out.
He's a person. Why
About
is he
this.
here? Unless he's just a pyromaniac, he might have information.
He's trying to burn us out.
He might be,
Sure,
but that
doesn't
means he
even
probably
know we're
knows
here
something.
necessarily.
You can see
It's a
that your,
strange coincidence.
you can see that your banjo now has the flying monkey, the golden monkey flying in front of him, just sort of
Hey.
levitating there. Turns it just again, it just seems fairly
What are you
innocuous.
doing
Golden
with that?
statue.
I mean, we're going to talk about
Might
this
be-
later,
This
but
might
right
be
now we're in a
worth something, you don't
situation.
I quickly want to look through.
We've just discovered it's a disastrous
doors.
object to possess.
But the object
Right.
itself.
Do you say
isn't
there's two more
disastrous.
doors?
Two more doors
Right.
inside there that look like they probably lead into
Sorry.
these examination rooms.
Oh, lead into them.
Yeah, probably, but they could go other places as well.
Have a quick look through X-ray vision through both.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can see that these two they do lead into slightly longer corridors that turn away and go back into another area of the facility. that
Do
you
they
guys haven't
kind of
been
go
into yet.
back towards the direction we came in, or back
They
the other
go.
way?
So you've got the corridor that you're in, and there's 4 rooms. Then this circular room at the end, which has got doors either side, which lead into a corridor that circles around the back of these other examination rooms, and also links back to somewhere else in the building that you haven't been to yet. And these examination rooms have got. They feel slightly more minimalist, but they seem like they've got higher end gear in them.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna. You wanna? Maybe you and I stay here. If you wanna speak to the
This one's
guy,
a cookie. I think I'm gonna die. I need a cookie.
Garrett, Adam. If you guys wanna go and check out the back, if you find a way for us to get out, then call us.
Cool.
Okay, I mean, you're the least person I'd like to be left alone with, but alright.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Don't believe you'll have my back, but alright. So, shall we go and talk to this guy?
Well, if you want to go and speak to him, it's best that he doesn't know that I'm here, and I can surprise if I need to.
I'm just gonna go out and go, hey,
Hey!
what are you doing?
I'm gonna approach with caution.
And I'm gonna stay close enough to be able to pull her away and out of danger if need be.
You hear the creeping voice of your wife just in the back of your head saying, "Not getting close to the witch, are we? Should I be jealous?"
Not at all, love. Not at all.
Look around.
I
like,
actually
oh,
find her
he's
quite
talking to
annoying,
us.
to be honest.
You can see him sort of whispering into his hand.
It's like, great. I
a
feel
pain in the
encouraged
bloody
by my
ass.
bodyguard. Okay, so I guess I've got to open the door to go and speak
Sure,
to this
yeah.
guy.
Wait
So
a
you
minute,
guys-
witch?
We'll discuss it later. Yeah.
Okay.
So I open the door with caution.
Sure. So the two of you step forward. You push open the doors you came out of, or pull open the doors you came out of. Yeah. No, they push open because they were blocked from the other side. It would make no sense if they opened inwards. It made no sense to block them. So you push open the doors into the seating area, and you can see just ahead the opening into the reception. The desk is in the main door, and this now quite raging fire across the front of the building. This person stood in front of it, who then who hears the creaking of the door, and you guys stepping in, and they turn around.
What does he look like?
It appears to be a man, mid-50s, quite, but you know, sort of sun-damaged skin, and he's quite doesn't look in very good health. With kind of a scraggly beard. He's dressed in practically in rags, but lots of layers, and he's really thick, and it's hard to tell what's him and what's just layers of cloth. He could be an enormous bruiser underneath, or it could just be a little skinny guy with this ridiculous amount of things on his stomach. Really difficult to tell. And he turns around to face you, and he's got a sort of a bobble hat on and scraggly, and just his clothes are all mismatched and weird. And you can see he's holding a whiskey bottle with a cloth coming out the top end as he turns to look at you.
Oh
His
shit.
eyes between you.
Okay, so whilst I'm talking to him, I'm going to use my compelling influence.
Cool.
Do I have to do anything to use that?
How does it work? What do we decide?
It's a stunt, but I also have high rapport, but it's a compelling influence.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah, so compelling influence, you could spend a fate point to invoke,
Okay.
if I remember correctly, to convince somebody to do something against their best interests.
Okay, so I'll just talk to him with my rapport for the time being, and then we'll see how it goes.
While she's doing that, I'm going to prepare to catch the bottle telekinetically if he tries to
Right.
throw it anywhere.
What are you doing with the monkey?
Monkey, I'll put that in my
Put it in your
pocket.
little knapsack or
yeah,
whatever.
I'm just going to ask him, are you okay?
He takes a step towards you. Very slow, deliberate steps towards the.
Can I help you?
He exits the reception area into. Now he stood just inside the seating area where you two are now. He just doesn't say anything.
What do you need? How can I help you?
He coughs. Seems like he's got to clear something out. It feels like he hasn't spoken for a very long time.
20 years.
He goes, This is mine.
What's yours?
This is mine.
We're not going to take it.
You
anything.
shouldn't be here.
We're not taking it from you.
And as he stands there, the model cocktail that he's holding, the cloth just lights by itself.
Do you
Okay,
want us
I'm
to
going to
leave?
pull the cloth out as much as if I can. Pull the cloth out telekinetically, so
Yeah, I'm gonna have a roll. I'm not gonna tell you what exactly the reason behind that is.
Just listen.
0.
It takes a little bit of concentration, but you manage to sort of pluck the cloth and it flings out, hits the wall harm. It's still on fire. He looks at it and goes, "What was that?" And he chucks the bottle at the fire. Just on the floor.
Do you want us to leave?
You say calmly, Adam and Garrett, what are you up to in the corridor behind? You hear a small explosion. Or
Are we
smashing
looking for a
around.
way out?
Yeah.
As you hear that smashing, and as you glance over, you can see that a new fire has started inside the seating area, just off to one side.
Oh,
And this guy is pacing.
I'll find us a way out. I think. I'll create an advantage called way out.
So you knock open. You go into the circular room, and so give me a fate point. Spending a fate point to do that.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's creating an advantage in the scene. No, that's fine. Yeah, you can create free advantage.
Shall we
So
test it or something?
as you no, this works. So as you glance about, you spot that the room. You immediately recognise the examination room on the left. You've been in there lots of times, and you know that the corridor outside leads round the side of the reception to the fire door on the other side of the building. You remember, in fact, you had to exit there once because the fire alarm went off while you were here.
Are there sprinklers?
Presumably,
But the water would have been
whether or not they'd be.
Hey.
Yeah.
I can't do everything.
So Garrett, suddenly remembers where the other fire exit is.
So we're technically going back around to these guys.
You're circumventing them entirely.
Okay, we're gonna go, but if you want us to
No!
help you, we will.
You can't leave now. It all has to end now.
Doesn't have
What
to
has to
end.
end?
What's your
All of
name?
what?
Just shut up for a minute and let me talk to you.
Stop you from getting burned to death.
You were hiding behind the door a minute ago.
So are we coming back to tell them we've done
I don't know, are you? So you're going to creep up. You can see them in conversation with this strange guy as
Do I
increasingly
recognise
comes on
him?
fire.
Does he look like anyone I...
Actually, I would say yes. Yes, you do recognise him as one of the doctors that you worked with, much older and world weary. He goes, no, it's too late now, and he raises his hands, and the doors that you guys just came through suddenly burst into flames. Breaking and entering got out of hand quickly. Hope you enjoyed that. There's one more part of this before we go into another one shot, and then this story will return after that. You can find A Game of Fate podcast on Twitter at A Game of Fate Pod, and you can find A Game of Fate podcast on Facebook and all the usual places. We do have a website, but it's not currently up as I record this, but it might be up by the time you listen to this. So please do keep an observation out for that. You can also follow my production name Flitter Films on Twitter at Flitter Films, and find Flitter Films on all the usual social medias. In addition, you can find Flitter Films, that's Flitter Films, Flitter Films on YouTube, where you can find this show and some of our other podcasts and some of our other short films and web series and all the other random stuff that we've done over the years. As I said at the top, please do like and subscribe and give this show a review, and just hope you enjoyed it. We really appreciate you listening. We've had a lot of fun making it. I'm hoping to continue making it for a long, long time. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next episode.